welcome back to the From the Terrace podcast. We're back with weekly shows again. We're back doing the things we love, talking about football. And also not quite potatoes, but FTT Rambles actually went down quite well, Charles, to be honest.
FTT Scrambles maybe next week.
How's liked the Pom the Terrace podcast title? You enjoyed it?
Yeah, that made me laugh. Pom the Terrace.
That was good, wasn't it? It was good.
Yeah, I did enjoy that thoroughly.
Speaking of house, we are joined by you again, mate. You're the first. I think you're the first person to make 2 appearances on this season 2 of the podcast. So
is that right?
Yeah, I think so.
Well, to be fair, you did DM me asking me to come on, begging me. So I mean,
I
was.
Yeah, to be honest.
It's your third overall appearance, isn't it?
Mate. Am I the record holder?
Yeah, you're the hat-trick.
Yes, Ian.
You get a hat-trick, yeah.
I think he's going to get more PG as we go, because the first time we started talking about very controversial things. Last time went down. It was still quite controversial.
The last time you called me a nonce.
And we spoke about names,
I'll try not to do that again.
Didn't we?
No, we still got João Pedro.
Oh
no, yeah. For saying World Cup Willie.
No, we talked about the Watford player, didn't we? I don't want to bring it up again. The Watford player, a 15-year-old girlfriend, but let's not talk about it.
It's probably legal by now, so it's probably all right.
We spoke about that before, so we'll move on.
Anyway, we're back. Premier League action's back. Regan, want to get us underway, mate?
Do you know the Premier League got away with the best game in history?
Yeah, it did, didn't it?
Aston Villa 0, Sheffield United 0.
What a game.
Right, I say because obviously, has everyone played now? Has every Premier League side played a game now? Return.
Yeah.
Apart from Man City,
Burnley.
They played Arsenal first time.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, Burnley haven't. They're playing Man City tonight.
Yeah, they got Man City tonight, obviously.
Yeah.
That was I say we talk about Aston Villa in general and Sheffield United actually, rather than just that game. They both haven't had the best of returns, really, have they? And
I didn't expect it from Villa. I expected Villa to be terrible, but not Sheffield United.
Do you think Sheffield United struggling since they come back? Obviously, haven't scored a goal, lost 3-0 at Newcastle as well. Do you reckon that just shows that the season's going to pick up in a very different way, and the form beforehand maybe didn't even matter at all?
I think we've seen that from the foreign leagues that have already restarted a couple of weeks ahead of us. There's been loads of games that have been terrible, and games like away teams winning every week and stuff like that. So I think it's definitely going to be a bizarre one. On Sheffield United, though, they did come up against Newcastle at probably the worst time in my opinion. I know Jack's not here, but like the whole hype around this takeover and like Alan St. Maximin and stuff like that. Newcastle, I do believe, are quite a good team. So I don't think you could look too much into that particular game.
No, I think I agree with that. I think Newcastle United. I mean, I think the reason Newcastle get so much stick a lot of the time is because they're a club that's got massive potential and they could do more. But really, on the pitch this season, they haven't been bad at all. So it probably does look a worse result than it was. But Sheffield United, they really have looked a bit lacklustre since they come back, and I think they have lost their rhythm a bit. They got to get back into it. Also, did you see against Villa the ghost goal? What about that? That is shocking, isn't it?
That's ridiculous. Like the first game back, and then that's how you start it off, back to controversy. That's what we like to see.
That's the most English thing ever, to have a 3-month break and you come back and you mess it up.
Well, I said as a joke in the chat when that happened, I was like, I bet someone's forgot to turn it on. I think that is actually what happened, by the way. Generally, because it was working for the
This is the goal line.
Yeah, the goal line technology, I think someone forgot to turn it on for the first.
Yeah, I mean, that is bizarre, isn't it?
It's like the idea of a guy just on a chair, just with a cap over his hat. What? Oh, well.
Oh, I didn't see it.
Oh, God.
Homer Simpson was working on goal line.
Yeah. Yeah.
But did you see? I think that is actually what happened, because the ref went into the tunnel at half time, and obviously they switched it on, and his watch started the goal when he was in the tunnel.
It's a bit late, isn't it? I don't get why. But the whole thing is, why couldn't VAR, like we had this discussion, not we, but they've had it. Like, why didn't VAR just say the technology wasn't working? It's clearly over the line. Award the goal.
Yeah, I don't understand that. I mean, they don't really know what they're doing, do they? Still, with VAR a lot of the time. Goal line technology was the one thing that we thought since 2014 we could finally rely on to stop us, and it's turned us down. Who's going to believe it now? Who's to say that it's not on all the time? Yeah, it is a bit of a worry. Villa in general, though. They're looking crap, aren't they? To be honest?
They are doing a Fulham.
Yeah, they
really are. Something like they're doing a Fulham.
Did you watch them against Chelsea though?
Yeah,
and it was
terrible.
It was. They didn't, even when they were 2-1 down, they didn't look like they were going to go again, and they got absolutely pinned back. And I think the problem with Villa is they spent all that money, and Fulham did the same thing, obviously, like last season. They spent all that money, but I felt still with Fulham there was players that were still ever present in the side, sort of thing.
Hmm.
Villa just feels like no one. No, like it just feels like you're always changing it. I looked at that back four and I thought that is atrocious. Their back four was Courtney House, Tyrone Mings, Matt Targett, and Esri Konza.
Yeah, Matt Targett, I don't know how he's in the Premier League still. He's robbing a career in my
He
opinion.
should come back, to be honest, because we needed him. But
He had good Glenn Spelview in Fulham, didn't he?
he's fantastic, yeah.
It's good. Yeah.
In goal, they got Orjan Nyland, who obviously made the mistake against Villa, got away against Sheffield United, got away.
Yeah.
I just think that's all of Villa's problems there, to be honest. And you'd have thought if you've got all this time to prepare your play, I know that they obviously weren't preparing the whole time over the lockdown. You've had like basically another little pre-season, haven't you? You'd thought, what should Villa do? They should get some consistency in defence and a good shape, and they look just shocking. And
They should start Pepe Reina mainly. I don't know how he's not playing.
Yeah, but he's got Poppard on wrist, isn't he? And I'm like,
He's not. I don't think Pepe Reina, a 37-year-old Pepe Reina, is the answer to their issues. But
I think at the back though they need like a leading figure out of those players. I think Pepe Reina could be it, because you look at that back four and the goalie, don't see a leader there at all.
Yeah, I mean Tyrone Mings is obviously one that you look at and say he is the leader, but clearly not doing a sufficient enough job, is he?
no, 100%.
Although it would be him and Jack Grealish, probably the only two players I take out of the Villa team. I'm missing somebody if I am.
John
But they're
McGinn.
Yeah, McGinn. Yeah, three of them.
No,
Other than that,
I'll be honest, I think Villa are doomed. And I know we've only just come back, but if you're struggling to like maybe because a lot of they say a lot of the time when Villa play at Villa Park or something, the crowd get on their backs or something when they're not playing well. There's no pressure anymore. It's literally just about being a competent football side now. These games, isn't it?
Yeah.
Obviously, there's no fan interaction. So I think Villa are buggered, to be honest, and I
think that's what we can kind of take away from this is when it's like it's a brand new start. You've lost all the momentum from the rest of the season, and obviously you don't have the fans. I feel like it's really exposed those teams that are really struggling. Obviously, we'll look at like Bournemouth and Norwich, but I think it really does. It's just a testament to the quality of these players because it's almost like it's a restart, and you're just starting from scratch again to an extent. And it's really watching some of the games. It's really exposed some of just the flaws in these teams that are near the bottom.
Yeah.
I think watching the games exposed flaws in football. To be honest, I've never hated football as much as I do right now, having watched the games come back.
You know what I've realised? I know a lot of teams are. It's a bit slower paced at the moment because you can tell teams are just more sloppy on the ball, aren't they, and stuff.
Yeah.
But Jesus Christ, when you realise how many periods of the game where it's just slow build-up play, don't you know, when there's no fans and stuff, and there's just like no intensity to the game, you realise how much it just passes around the back with no intent, some of these sides.
Yeah, a lot of the sides, to be honest. Yeah.
It is,
What about Bournemouth then? What did you make of them? Because they're...
I mean, I thought they were terrible against Palace. Palace looked like a good side, and to be honest, under Roy Hodgson.
Oh, mate, he's the top manager. So good. Yeah.
They're doing really well.
I love him.
Jordan Ives scored again.
What bloke?
We were going on for weeks, like, you can't keep it up. You can't keep it up. Well, he's had 3 months off now, and he's went and scored again. Is Jordan Ives proving himself to be a good Premier League footballer?
He's done it a bit late, hasn't he?
Yeah.
All of the other seasons have just been like, I'm just being intentionally average so that this year I'm going, showed you. Double figures.
That's like Benteke doing it next season.
Yeah.
Ain't happening.
You've had about 5 years, mate. Come on.
What do we think of Bournemouth in general, though? Do we think they're doomed, or do you think they've...
I think they're doomed, because not only is there some flaws in their squad, you look at like Fraser not like refusing to play and stuff like that. With a team like Bournemouth, once like the dressing room atmosphere goes, what else have you got?
Yeah.
It's true. It's really true.
Some good players, but their best players are the ones that still came up in the first season. None of the transfers have really done anything.
Well, when you sign Jordan Ives and Solanke for 40 million, you're not going to get
Jordan Ives getting released, isn't he? I think it's
yeah. That's a shame.
Bournemouth's one of the only teams where there's no fans in the stadium, yet the atmosphere is still the same.
Them and Fulham, I say.
The Fulham fans.
Clappers, mate! Yeah.
They actually clapped at the crowd noise in the Fulham Brentford game.
Was there actually?
Yeah, there was. It was shocking. I'm looking at the table now. Like Bournemouth currently sit in the bottom three.
Yeah, they are.
I think the one thing that's most worrying thing about Bournemouth is Callum Wilson and Josh King used to get them out of so much trouble, and they're just not firing and not scoring at the moment. And Bournemouth, the defence has always been terrible. They have league in their defence. They do. Like, it's no getting around it. And then they always relied on scoring goals, and when the strikers aren't scoring goals, I think that's it for them. And to be honest, it's still a very close relegation fight, but I think those bottom three, Bournemouth, Villa, and Norwich, they are.
Yeah, I think so. I can't see any of the other teams around them well above them.
What about West Ham under Moyes?
Yeah, West Ham are level with Bournemouth on points.
They're level on points with Bournemouth.
Yeah.
And
I think they're going to survive just based on being not as bad as Bournemouth.
Yeah.
I think West Ham survive just because they've got enough quality in that squad.
Where there's so much more quality.
In those games where like both sides are having a bit of a nothing game, West Ham will come out on top. I think. I think that's what they'll get away with it, but it won't be for any good management.
No.
Every season I always put West Ham in that bracket of teams that are going to push for a Europa League spot.
Yeah, and it never happens, does it? Apart from Dimitri Payet.
I'm hoping it's going for a long time. And Mikel Antonio, I think, such an overrated footballer.
Yeah.
But I don't think he's great, Bill.
I can't stand him.
I don't think recently it's been his fault because West Ham are trying to crack. They're trying to go for it with bring on Antonio. He's going to sort of add. No, you know what it is. They all. The game's been terrible for the first 70 minutes. They bring on Antonio and he starts running, and so they all think he's doing brilliant. When in fact he's not very good. So I don't really blame him.
No, where's this thing come from that this bloke's a striker and can play?
He's not a striker, is he?
The guy that's always been really pacey, really strong, can cause problems, but his end product's been a bit
dreadful when he got my front
at Upton Park. Jesus Christ, the guy can't finish. And Ian Wright was said on Match of the Day. I was watching it earlier to catch up. Ian Wright on Match of the Day. Oh, and you know of Antonio, he's always a handful. I was like,
For who?
Yeah, but there's being a handful, but what is that? Oh, I don't know. Handful when in your hand there's nothing. You know what I mean? Like, what?
Agreed.
Who else played Regan? I'm trying to think now.
Liverpool played Everton.
Should we go to the main? Should we go to the people that we should laugh at a lot? The lost 3-0 to City and then Brighton.
Oh yeah, Arsenal. That's what I was going to bring up when Charles said the bad sides down the bottom are getting exposed. I think Arsenal are getting exposed to what they really are.
They're a bad side down the bottom.
I've said this a few times in the podcast. Arsenal aren't just a team with a wrong idea. They're not just a club that's got no sort of aggression to them and no leadership. I think they're just a bad team.
What's bad players or bad?
Not very good, are they?
I think they are bad footballers and they're very open.
Yeah.
They've only got a few standout players, and one of them is now out for the season.
Yeah.
I think they're buggered.
Arsenal, you think the actual quality they do have in the squad, Mesut Ozil never plays. You have Aubameyang, who is a very good footballer. He's actually right. Lacazette's just misfiring. And to be honest, as Lacazette, although at the time looked like a very good signing, is he actually a world-class striker? Because he did it at Lyon, but Lyon was sort of a team that was sort of on par with Arsenal, weren't they? They weren't really a top.
Well, Moussa Dembele's doing it at Lyon.
But exactly. There you go.
Bafétembi Gomis did it at Lyon for years.
I mean, Lyon, Memphis Depay is doing it at Lyon. Terrible in the Premier League. French League's different there.
Maybe Lacazette is overrated.
I've always thought he was, but I don't think he's as bad as people say. I must admit. I think
he's good. I think he's still good though. Yeah.
And then Nicolas Pepe, I'm just not having.
Seems to be a lot of players in League
One. Yeah, to be fair, he scored an absolute screamer, but he scored a screamer. No one was closing him down. A bit of a training.
He didn't do anything. He did everything else in the game, but I always teeter that line between you've got to see results straight away, and obviously I think Pepe was seen glimpses, but I don't know. I don't think it's been a disaster for Pepe. I feel like there's signs because he's really good at beating his man, but his crossing isn't particularly great at the minute, and his decision making is pretty woeful. But there are signs of a good player there. So
his legs are as thin as Alfie's earphone wires.
It's quite thin, in fairness, you sure?
They will snap.
They will.
What do we all think of Mikel Arteta then?
I think he's good, but his subs and his use of substitutes need to be put into question after time.
Do you think?
I don't know why Martinelli's not playing. I don't know why Ozil's not playing. I can't believe Martinelli hasn't got any minutes, to be honest.
So
unless he's done something wrong.
Do you think the fact that he's had an impact is a myth, because a lot of people were saying that Mikel Arteta has had an impact since Emery left.
I'm not sure what impact it is.
Yeah,
I think it's
I'm not saying he's not had an impact. I mean, I'm sure he might have brought some positive vibes to the club and stuff. But if you're looking at an actual impact on the pitch, in the league tables, with the players' performances, I don't know what impact people refer to personally. But
no,
I think the only positive impact isn't actually, like you said, not on the pitch. It's the fans.
yeah, because I'm
No
looking
positive
at
impact on the fans. That's it.
But he is a fraud. He is a B-Tech Pep Guardiola, quite simply, by definition. So,
He was the assistant manager.
yeah, exactly. He, by definition, he is not as good as him, and that is who he's competing with. So they're never going to be successful, are they?
And you know what these Arsenal fans are going to be like. They said Arteta's the man they wanted. Well, some of them did at least, and then they got a burst of energy when he came through the door and everything. But in 6 months' time they'll be wanting his head. They will.
They will, yeah.
I just think Arsenal are just. I don't think I'm ever going to take them seriously again. Because next year I'm not going to go. Oh, Arsenal have a chance at top 4. No chance.
Well, I know it though, wouldn't it? Because look at Liverpool. Liverpool were a banter team for 4 years ago, and now they've won the Champions League.
Yeah, but everyone was after Jurgen Klopp, and they got Jurgen Klopp.
Yeah, that's true. True. They've got to get someone in who's decent, haven't they, like Arsenal? But
Arsenal needs to get I can't see Arsenal getting a Jurgen Klopp type figure. Jurgen Klopp was still rated as the top 1 and top 3 managers before.
Yeah, that's true.
And they got him in. I don't see the appeal of that. What appeal do Arsenal have? A pretty crap squad.
Terrible backing from the board.
A soulless fan base. And
Yeah, prawn sandwiches.
Yeah, this is. I
Oh, sorry, Regan. I didn't mean to offend you.
Cucumber.
Oh dear. Yeah, no. For me, that Arsenal are pretty shoddy. Are they worse than Tottenham though?
Yes.
Yeah.
I think Spurs. I was a bit concerned about the Mourinho thing, but to be fair, he hasn't had the summer window to rebuild yet.
No, that's true.
You give Mourinho next year to see what he actually does, especially since Harry Kane's only just come back.
Yeah, I'm worried about Harry Kane's legs, to be honest with you, for England's sake.
Yeah, so
That bloke runs like a 45-year-old man. I feel like he's going to start playing like it soon as well.
He gets an injury every season.
Yeah.
I mean, if he times it wrong, then he's out for the Euros, isn't he?
Exactly. I mean, realistically, how fit would he have been for the Euros this year?
He wouldn't.
Not at all.
It'd have been like when we forced Rooney into the squad.
Yeah, exactly. And then that ruined Rooney's England career for the rest of his life. So.
Yeah. What else you got, Riga?
Do you want to talk about Spurs, Man United?
Oh, not the game so much, no.
What can we say that Roy Keane hasn't already said?
Yeah.
Your opinion on Roy Keane?
I don't know how I feel about Roy Keane.
Huh?
I don't know how I feel about Roy Keane. I really like him. I think he's a good bloke, but some of the stuff he says is wrong sometimes.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Most overrated keeper in the world.
You know what? I like a pundit.
Is that what he said about De Gea?
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, not true, personally.
No.
I like a pundit who says it how it is, but I think he says things because he just says things that are too drastic and too he just tries to show off.
He just says, yeah, exactly. He doesn't think what he says. Just says the thing that comes to his head and doesn't care.
I'd have been throwing punches in that dressing room.
So
off, Roy.
No, for a punch anybody.
You know what? It's that sort of symptom of people saying, "Oh, it always used to be so much better," and I don't know. You've got to take it with a pinch of salt. Someone like Roy Keane, someone needs to tell him football is different. For a lot of good reasons, it's different. I'm sorry, but he's talking about, they're throwing some punches in the dressing room. Is that a cool thing to do?
You can't accept. It's not acceptable to say anymore, unfortunately.
No, I know it's not acceptable to say anymore. But if I was in the dressing room and one of my players was throwing punches, I wouldn't go, "That's shown a lot of character." I go, "You're a knob."
Yeah.
That's why you're not a professional footballer, Charles. Your mentality.
FTT.
So I'll give on Roy Keane. Patrice Evra, the back and forth chat between the two of them. I thought Patrice Evra was absolutely hilarious on that particular show. I don't know if you.
I didn't actually listen to it because I just got pissed off at Roy Keane.
That's fair. No, it's Roy Keane was saying that if anybody gave one of the players a lift home after the game, he'd be like, "No, that is wrong. You can't do that. They have to be on the team bus." And Patrice Evra looked him dead in the eye and said, "Well, I'm going to go in that dressing room after. I'm going to offer everyone a lift. If anyone wants a lift, I'm going to give it to him." And he stared at his face. Obviously, Roy Keane was just there "Very good. That's very good." Yeah.
But I mean, Roy Keane played in a team with Fabian Barthez. I don't remember hearing any stories. I don't remember any stories that he was throwing punches in the dressing room. Do you? I don't really remember.
To be fair, didn't Roy Keane get kicked out of the Ireland squad because he?
Yeah, but no, he got kicked out of the Ireland squad because for that tournament because
Yeah.
he complained about the facilities that they were training at.
Okay. So it's a bit of a nod then. That's what we've got.
He refused. Yeah, that's what we've got.
There's a common thread here.
There you go.
Roy Keane might be able to beat up the average man in the pub, but he's a knobhead.
Annoyingly, that's a shame.
That's what we've got there. Roy Keane's a knobhead.
Yeah, I tried to write down on my whiteboard Roy Keane knob, but the pen ran out. So you cannot. It's not even legible. I mean, yeah, oh well.
Roy Keane.
No worries. I'll go right
You think that either of those teams can sneak into the top 4?
No.
What, Spurs? United or Spurs? No.
Yeah.
No chance.
I think the only team that's given that top 4 any sort of danger is Wolves.
Yeah. I think Chelsea have got
I
it in the
agree
bag,
with that.
personally.
Yeah.
Of those two, I would say Man United, mainly because, mainly that second half against Spurs, they're brilliant.
And they are still 5th. No,
They are.
They are
I
still
think if they use Pogba right, like when he came on, that's some of the best football I've seen all season from one player. If they use him right and they get Martial firing again, it could.
A lot of ifs, don't there? That's the thing with these clubs. A lot of ifs. I actually think Chelsea will win the league next year, though. So I do think they'll get top 4.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Shout that. I mean, have you seen Chelsea are interested in Jude Bellingham and look like they're going to win?
He's going to Dortmund.
Hey. I'd go Dortmund if I was him, definitely.
Literally news came out like an hour ago on Sky. Winning the race.
Go Dortmund, don't go Chelsea.
Well, he had offers, allegedly. He had an offer on the table from Dortmund and United, and it's up to him to pick where he wants to go. So if Chelsea have added a third offer in, that would be well interesting for him.
I mean,
I'd love to know what's going on in his head.
If I was him, Chelsea, Dortmund, United, just don't go United, is what I'd say.
No.
I'd rather go United over Chelsea, I think. Or would I? No, I wouldn't actually. Not Frank Lampard, not at all.
The academy at Chelsea is a lot better.
Frank Lampard's unreal.
We're thinking of Chelsea with, just Abramovich splashing money.
Yeah, but I think Lamps might be the real deal, you know?
I think he is the real
Yeah, I say so.
I think he is, yeah.
Bill's gone silent on my screen.
Yeah.
Yeah, same.
Have I gone silent, have I?
Oh, there you go.
You're all right now, you're back. Is it me, or is Lampard going to become like an established manager, and is Gerrard going to be bouncing
A
around?
flop. Yeah.
I think he might.
I hope so, you know. I really do. I know it's harsh.
Out of all of those lot, when you thought Terrard?
Punditry. Bill Taylor.
Terry, Lampard and Gerrard. I always thought Lampard would just be he's the most sort of just normal bloke, I think, and he's intelligent, and I think Gerrard a lot of the time is all show, and then John Terry.
Passion merchant.
We know what Terry is.
John Terry reminded me, in the last Aston Villa game that was on, I think it was last night or the night before, he reminded me of, you've seen the film Gladiator, you know, the thumbs up guy, the way he was sat in his chair at the top, looking over. I thought Danny Paul was going to be like, there, get rid of them all.
Yeah.
Well done.
With his little earpiece in.
Yeah, exactly. He looks like the actor as well. He plays the guy. I can't remember what his name is. Apologies.
You see Terry's reaction as well when Villa scored. He looked so upset when Villa
Really?
Nothing.
No,
Dean Smith jumped and he went.
Dean Smith's next to him. He goes, yeah, like that. Terry pauses, sort of looks around to Dean Smith, then just goes like that.
Oh,
He wants Chelsea to win.
of course he does. Yeah.
Yeah.
You've got to respect that, don't you? Fair enough.
I've got to respect that.
Who's Chelsea's assistant?
Oh,
Morris.
Morris, isn't it?
Is it?
He takes him everywhere, doesn't he?
Yeah.
Who?
Jody Morris.
Jody Morris.
Jody Morris. Yeah.
He was working with the under-21s at Chelsea.
I could genuinely see Terry at Chelsea, maybe under Lampard as assistant soon.
I think Terry's too big-headed to want that.
Do you think he'll go into management if they go down? Like he'll split away from Villa and go into do like a Gerrard?
Championship club.
Yeah, I don't know who's going to take him though. Who's going to take John Terry as their manager right now?
God knows.
No one, because no one likes him.
QPR.
Former Chelsea, no
They
chance.
hate Chelsea.
Well, if he goes to Chelsea, it's not the only bridge you'll find him at.
Such a twat.
Brilliant.
Zing!
All right, go on, Rico.
Right, do you want to brush over Wolves? Because we talked about West Ham, but obviously Wolves, like you said, they're a big threat. They could push for top 4, but obviously they do still have Europa League left.
I love that volley from that sort of undistinguishable Portuguese winger, Pedro Neto.
Yeah.
Goal.
So many of them.
There's so many of them. But
So many. They're all so good. I don't know how they've done it. Fair enough.
is it just me, or what really annoys me about football is in that Wolves game, the first goal, Traore ran it down the right, just crossed it back post, and Jimenez scored. Moyes, surely your team was working on that in training.
It's not a shock, is it?
That's got to be an
They've not, yeah.
That was the most simple goal. Like, it just came out of nothing.
Yeah.
Boston
It annoyed me.
or anything. It wasn't quick or anything. It's just what
In fairness though, Charles, I've played a lot of football, and a lot of times I've known what's going to happen, and I've still absolutely fucked it up. So I mean, there's no it's not necessarily just because you know what's going to happen, you can't stop it, can you?
Yeah.
No,
I was playing under Moyes.
I just like how clinical Wolves are, to be honest.
I was.
You still think they have a chance of winning Europa, Bill?
Well, I don't know. I do think, but I don't really like where they're going to go with all these European competitions, to be honest. It seems like they're going to play them all in
It's mini tournaments.
These mini tournaments.
Yeah.
I'm not a fan of that. I genuinely thought if it just stayed how it was, Wolves would have had a really good chance of winning it. But
Aren't they going to Lisbon, though? Is that where it is?
that's where the
It's a home game then.
Yeah,
Home game.
Wolves at home.
Well, is it all in Lisbon? Is that Champions League as well?
I don't know. I know the Champions League was, but I didn't know about
Because
Europa League.
Juventus are going to win the Champions League if it's in Lisbon, 100%. If they're still in it, though they are, to be fair.
Yeah, I don't know.
They are.
They must
Yeah,
be.
they
Isn't it been knocked out already? I'd have known about that.
God knows.
I still think Bayern.
Oh, that's a great shout, to be fair. Wouldn't be surprised seeing that at all.
Right, so talk about that. What, you going to say something else, Charles, about it?
No, I just thought we were getting sidetracked. I was saying let's go back to the Prem.
Right. We'll talk about the FTT derby later on, but a former player of Bill's team, Mr. Mopay.
Ew. Cheers.
Oh, I can mute him now.
Was it a red card or not?
Oh, piss
No.
off. Red card.
Exactly.
Throw a better kneecap, Burn. What are you doing?
Oh!
Bernie.
Oh! I'm pretty sure he's out for like a year.
Grow a better
Oh,
kneecap.
Charles, he needs to learn how to land.
Oh.
I mean,
Yeah,
that
you
happens
showed
in
him,
every
Bill.
single-
No,
That happens every single goes off out.
it's a horrible injury, but like Morpie, I don't understand. Do you think
It's unfortunate. That's all it is. It's
I
unfortunate.
don't think he did anything wrong. Strikers do that like 10 times a game. They just leave a little bit on the keeper afterwards, and I don't.
Just in case they drop it, yeah.
I don't think there's anything wrong with it. What I did love about it was Morpie, as Leonard's down clutching his knee, was claiming that Leonard handballed it outside the area. And he goes and scores the winner, and then he goes and says what he says in the post-match interview.
That's how you should do a post-match interview.
Yeah.
I love
I
it.
rate him for that.
And he did you see Guendouzi got away with it?
I can't believe that.
Yeah.
What was it? Sorry, what did
Guendouzi-
No further action for
Guendouzi
Guendouzi.
in the Arsenal Brighton, he grabbed Morpie by the neck at the final whistle and went through into the floor, and he just didn't get any. Like,
What would you have dished out there?
Red card?
I mean, I just
Suspended
picked out
him.
like a 3-game ban, like you would for a red card. I don't think there's anything else you could have really done. But
Can I just say that I'm trying to refrain myself from saying the infamous C word for him, but I cannot stand Guendouzi. I think he's so overrated, and I think his attitude stinks.
What a cummerbund.
You met him, have you?
his attitudes.
Yeah, man, I met him down at Dixie's, and
No. I do agree with you. I don't rate him at all. I don't understand. He's never one of those. Well, we've always spoken about Arsenal in depth, but he's never one of those Arsenal players that there's no reason he should be at that club, and they're not going to get better until he leaves.
Agreed.
it's the entire Arsenal midfield basically.
The
That's what
Arsenal
Arsenal
midfield is the most uninspiring thing ever.
Yeah,
It's
genuinely.
the pirouette himself,
Who-
Danny
who is it?
Ceballos.
Yeah, I mean, if they got that Saka, to be fair, he's quite good.
They need to use their youth more.
These players who sign for big clubs just get a free pass to be sort of hyped up, don't they?
Well, that's the thing. It's mental because I thought we were in 2020. We are in 2020, aren't we? That is right. Why is Rob Holding starting for Arsenal? That's what we get.
Agreed.
It's been 4 years.
After massive injuries as well. It's
No, young English centre back, bit of potential, but he's not got potential to be what Arsenal needs. So
No, he should go to a smaller club where he can be a top player. People respect him, and he actually gets the opportunity to play well every week.
Crystal Palace.
Yeah.
What are you doing?
Exactly.
These players,
Arsenal need to move on.
some football clubs, their players get rated, bigged up by their fans because they then play for that club. And I think the clubs fall into the trap of thinking they're better than they are as well. They're not.
Mm.
Like these
Well-
players, like Guendouzi and Rob Holding, are not that good.
Well, look at Brighton's centre-back pairing. I think Brighton's centre-back pairing is better than Arsenal's. It's just Rob Holding and Mustafi versus Adam Webster and Lewis Dunn. Brighton's is better by a mile. It's not even close. And that's what we're dealing with.
How hard can it possibly be to actually just buy a good centre back partner?
Well, Adam Webster costs Brighton 12 million from the Championship. I'm not saying they should sign Championship players. That's not the level they need. But like, you can get quality players. I don't know how they've ended up with Mustafi in their defence.
Yeah,
I mean, yeah, they're getting one coming in back from loan, that William Saliba guy. But is that going to fix their problems? No.
I bet.
Wasn't there a stat? William Saliba had the most errors leading to goals in those top 5 leagues.
Who has?
That's Saliba.
The player that Arsenal bought was sent out on
What are
loan.
they doing? I'm sorry. Like,
It's the perfect replacement for David Luiz, isn't it?
Yeah, like for like.
I genuinely thought. I mean, I know that it wasn't like meant to be the long-term plan for David Luiz, but they thought David Luiz was a good sign-in.
Do you know what it is though? I've got an FTT confession. I fell for it. I thought.
Oh.
I genuinely
I fell
thought
for it.
He was going to prove to everyone that he wasn't an erratic defender, and he was going to captain Arsenal. And he was going to show that he was a good defender, and he's just, he's gone back to the old routine again.
It was.
Is there anyone we haven't mentioned, Ruben?
What was that?
Is there anyone we haven't mentioned from Prem? Actually, I was going to change my performance of the week. I want to give it to, let's mention Southampton. They won 3-0 at Norwich.
You want to give it to a team that beat Norwich?
Yeah, but I thought Southampton looked really good.
What about Liverpool for drawing 0-0 with Everton?
Oh, the worst derby in England.
It's the worst derby, 100%.
You realise this? The Merseyside derby's shit.
Yeah, it's the worst thing I've ever watched.
It's never been good.
0-0. To win the title, 0-0. Really? That's mental. You could have won the title. Oh, yeah, shocking. Shoot them all.
Merseyside derbies.
Don't shoot them. Don't do that. Oh, actually, the funniest thing from that derby, sorry to cut you off, Bill, but did you see Sadio Mane at the start of the game?
Yeah.
That was the funniest thing from that derby. The only good bit of quality was the all kneeling for the Black Lives Matter protest, which obviously is a really important issue. And Sadio Mane is just legging it down the left wing. He's getting for one goal. He doesn't care. He does obviously see and stop, but brilliant. I love that.
I did think it was a bit confusing. Some of these the whistles they're doing at the beginning of these games. So they're doing like a whistle.
There's a lot going on.
They did a clap for the NHS whistle. Then they did like a whistle to start the nil. Then they did a whistle to get back up from the nil. Then they did a whistle to actually start the game. And people were just looking around, what the fuck?
I've got no idea what's happening, but I support all of it. But no idea.
Right, we got three more teams. First one is Newcastle.
Yeah, we've mentioned Newcastle.
We're showing it a little bit, yeah.
Well,
just the same thing. It's Alan saying. Yeah, Jolin's got a goal.
Now.
Yeah.
Do we think?
Is Appleby going to be editing this? Is he?
You might be me.
Might be you. Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
And the last two are Watford and Leicester.
Ooh, that game was.
Oh, you watched that game, didn't you?
So that game was, it was pretty average. It was just like your classic, like Neil, they're getting used to the pace again.
Yeah, and then
it's Ben Chilwell, who was terrible all game. His crosses were awful. It's an absolute. It was reminiscent of Untiti against Spurs in that Europa game 7 years ago.
Goal.
Second time, bang,
got a call back.
Amazing. You think, right, Leicester, 3 points, brilliant. Watford, classic Watford. I mean, obviously everyone's seen the game, but just like screamers out of absolutely nowhere. Good young lad who I thought was actually quite good in that game, who I didn't even know existed. That James Justin, he was quite good for Leicester, actually.
People keep saying this to me. Wayne, whenever I put the Leicester on what they're playing, every time Wayne with his dementia just settles in, and he can't remember. And he can't remember what I've told him about James Justin. And I think he's a proper good player. It's because
he looked really good.
Leicester obviously have Ricardo Pereira, don't they? But he's a proper good player. They bought him from Luton last season.
I think just other note. I think Maddison looked quite sharp. He was one of the players who I think he looked really. I'm starting to think because there were times where you think you'd have thought that Maddison should have been, because he still hasn't got an England cap, has he?
He has.
Surely by now.
I believe in it.
Yeah, can't even full start.
Because that centre attacking mid role is so, or like that advanced midfield role is so competitive.
It's open.
I personally think it's a bit of a travesty that he hasn't been able to cement it himself.
It is open to take, though, isn't it? Like, there's no one saying he can't have it.
Yeah, you're right. It is open to take.
if he just performs. But
I don't think
interesting.
Dele Alli should even. I mean,
No.
I know he's not even in the conversation, but
No, but I mean, not anymore. 2 years ago, yeah. I was just call back. You said about obviously Craig Dawson's goal. What's the best goal you've ever seen by a defender?
live or like
Yeah, well, any scenario, but like when you've actually watched the game, not you've seen it on YouTube. Like
Figueroa
Hmm?
inside his own half.
Figueroa, yeah.
What about Felipe Mex's bicycle kick against?
I was thinking.
Oh
So I
yeah.
remember watching that because I don't know
Yeah.
why I was watching. It was a friendly, wasn't it? It was a friendly. I was watching it for some reasons. I was young and liked football, and then he saw a bicycle from literally outside the box, centre back. I was like, Jesus, that is good.
I think the Jack Yelka one he scored against Liverpool was actually decent as well.
See, the thing is that I haven't watched any of these live though. Like, I saw Figueroa.
No, yeah, I haven't seen Figueroa's live. But yeah, no.
One that I think it's not Alan Hutton last year.
Oh yeah, definitely, 100%.
Yeah.
It's a great
It was
goal.
just out of nowhere.
Yeah. Against Birmingham as well.
Second
not-
City derby, Alan Hutton runs the pitch, jumps into the
Boldy, Boldy. Brilliant.
That was like the moment. Hutton probably loved that because he's like, right, I think he's retired now. He's like, that was it.
I think all goals look better if you're bold.
And he got it. Unreal.
All goals are better if you're bold.
I think they do. Like they just happen to look better. I think. But
Was it what? Oh, what did you say?
goals.
They
They look better if you're bold. Yeah. I think so.
I've not heard that claim before.
Watch it. Watch the
It's
goal.
more
Aaron Hutton.
aesthetically pleasing.
Yeah, it is. Especially if they dime one off the red. It's delightful, isn't it?
Oh, right. Is that Prem done, Reed?
Right, that's it. Do you want me to run over our very good
go on.
predictions?
Get the catch up on the predictions, yeah.
Right. So out of the 9 games played so far this week, I have 6 right. Charles has 5 right, and Bill has 4 right.
Good work, Regan.
Nice one, Bill. And overall, the standings are: Bill has 139, Charles has 141, and I have 153
Wow.
Oh no.
How long has this been going on for?
The whole season.
since the beginning of the
Wow.
season.
Fair play. And you've kept so close to each other, to be fair.
That's what I was thinking. I know I'm probably never going to catch him now, but
But like, you're within a shout, yeah.
14 on a whole season is not that bad, is it?
It's not bad at all. It could all go wrong from here, Bill. Don't get carried away, mate. Still time.
What is it? I could get any worse.
There's still time.
What am I going to do? Not get any more and still lose?
Yeah. Lose by some distance, though.
Yeah.
Fair point.
Have you got a forfeit for the loser, like an egg or anything like particularly?
No, we haven't actually.
But
Maybe
we should think of that.
You should. There you go. You can have that one for
Especially
free.
if the same person loses in the fantasy league as well.
naked FTT live stream.
Naked FTT.
That's a forfeit for everyone else.
You'd have to stream it from Pornhub. But that'd be good.
yeah.
That'd be brilliant.
That's a forfeit
Bill
for
gets
everyone else.
hunted on prediction.
Just FTT boy leaked.
Oh, God. You could start an OnlyFans, FTT.
Yeah, not a bad.
Oh,
I'd subscribe.
Who's paying them? All right, there we go.
I would.
That's a bit of money.
You give me some good content. Anyway, we're digressing
We
massively.
can't even get people to subscribe to the channel for free.
You've got loads. You've got hundreds, mate. Time will come.
We've got millions.
Hundreds.
Yeah, Championship Regan. I'll let you talk if you want. Because you said you were on a rant.
after I said to you I was going to go on a massive rant, I decided against it mainly because of the fixtures around us not going our way as well. If everything went against us and as well as our running, then I would have been furious. But since the other results meant that we're like not completely out of it yet, thanks Cardiff, that I was still annoyed mainly because I think even you had admitted, Bill, you didn't dominate like you did in the home leg.
No, we didn't at all.
No. We had a lot more better chances than you.
Yeah, stats suggested that we were actually the better side, but to be honest, that's probably because all of our chances came at the last 10 minutes, pretty much. A lot of them did. I thought it was very much a game of two sides who like to play football, but like as we said, with people coming back now, after a long period away, we were both just giving the ball away a lot, weren't we?
Yeah.
Sloppy, and I mean, what Sunday that was that Dennis Adoy throw-in? That was so funny. You seen that?
That was too
No, I haven't seen it. I haven't. What happened?
hilarious.
Dennis Adoy takes the front, he throws it straight up in the air, and obviously the mics around the pitch just catch him just going, oh shit, he goes straight up in the air. But, it was,
We should. I think I was more annoyed the fact we didn't score one at least because we had two. We had golden opportunities too.
David Raya did well, didn't he? Played
Yeah, but that what was it? The save against? I think it must have been Mitro.
Mitro, yeah. Mitro had all your chances.
Well, obviously the Bobby Reed at the post
Oh yeah. God, forgot that.
and Knockaert hogged the ball, shot from outside the area of his left foot, went over the bar a few times, and that was basically it. I didn't realise Cabano was playing till about half an hour in.
I mean, yeah, then he came off, didn't he?
Yeah.
I mean, obviously, yeah, we won 2-0. Ben Rama got a goal and Marcondes at the end. We're going to give Marcondes average player of the week as well, aren't we?
I'd never heard of him until now.
Emiliano.
I told my mum the other day, I think I've seen the new Pele. Who is he? Is what she said. I said his name is Marcondes. Emiliano.
No, not until the game.
Let me tell you a little story, House. When did we sign this geezer? We signed him, I think, January 2018.
Right.
Then he went back to where we signed him from, Nordsjælland, for a half-season loan. And basically, his probably 2 years at Brentford have been him just not getting a goal, just struggling to get in the team at all. He's been injured.
Yeah.
Barely played, basically. Then he came back. He's been playing a bit, and he's been a bit of a banter player. He took so long to score a goal. Then finally against Sheffield Wednesday, just the game before the lockdown, he scored the screamer. We won 5-0.
And now he's back on
there. Just came off the bench.
Yeah.
Absolute beauty of across the Ben Rama at the back post. He's then finished off, and he's only on the pitch for 20 minutes.
No Embuemo, no problem, mate. That's what it is.
Well,
lucky escape with that, though.
I can't believe it.
Could you imagine if a lot of your squad had got it as well? You'd be in big trouble.
Yeah, I know that is. It had to happen to Brian and Boymo, didn't it? Like, it couldn't have happened to, like, I don't know. I mean,
if you had to pick one,
who would you wish it upon him?
Who would you?
I'm not answering that question.
Yeah, good idea.
As soon as we stop recording. Right.
Yeah, I'll listen.
He's making a list. He's checking it twice.
Yeah, well, should we go on to the Championship in general then? So Brentford West Brom drew at home to Birmingham, 0-0.
Terrible game.
I watched it as well. Absolutely.
Sure.
That's the sort of one I only watching football. That's the sort of one that Charles always walks in and me watching like these terrible football games at uni all the time, and I'm just sat there and he goes, "Oh, how's the game?" And I just go, But it's just depressing. I'm watching like Friday night football, Nottingham Forest Reading, and it's like Jesus. But that was terrible. So West Brom drew 0-0 to Birmingham. Leeds lost 2-0 to Cardiff.
Mental.
And then obviously
Patrick Bamford with a fantastic save.
It's blown automatic promotion. Well, I mean, automatic promotion still should be of Leeds and West Brom, really.
But we've seen it before.
They're both on 71 points. You've got Fulham on 64 and Brentford on 63. Who I think there's the only 4 realistic teams that are going to get autos.
Yeah.
Fulham have got Leeds on Saturday and Brentford have got West Brom on Friday night. Which, I mean, I think we know after this weekend how it's going to go, really, don't we?
That's what an incredible weekend of football that is for the Championship, by the way.
Unreal.
That's incredible, yeah. I didn't even know that.
I personally think if Brentford beat West Brom, it's a big if. I think if we beat West Brom, I think we're going to get top 6. Because our running afterwards is so...
Who are you going to overtake? Because you'll still be 7, but you'll still be like 6 points behind, 7 points behind people, 5 points behind. Yeah, 5 points behind West Brom, aren't you? Yeah.
Fulham, I mean, I'm hoping for a draw.
He's got a game in hand, but that game in hand is against Fulham. So
this is the thing, though. Say West Brom come back and they drew 0-0 to Birmingham, and then they lose to us. They're doubting themselves, I think, because the whole run of form's gone. If the lockdown had never happened, West Brom and Leeds would have ran away.
Pissed it. They were pissing it, 100%.
They've lost their flow now, and I'm just hoping that goes in our favour. Sort of an outside perspective on the automatic promotion race. How do you think it's going to go?
Who? Me?
You, yeah.
I still think it'll be West Brom and Leeds, personally. I don't think they'll bottle that big a lead, but I do think Brentford will go up in the playoffs.
No chance.
No chance. Are you joking?
I think
the best team out of you're the best of the rest, basically. The best of the rest by a mile, I think.
The only team I can see you lose to is Nottingham Forest.
It's just us. We don't win playoffs. It just don't happen.
Well, maybe it's the first time.
You don't go in any.
Yeah,
you're never in any.
Typical. What do you mean we're never in any?
You won the League One playoffs, didn't you?
No, we went up. We lost the playoff final, and then we had to go up the next year.
Oh, did you? Okay, right, yeah.
Oh, one playoff.
What do you mean? We've literally been in 9 playoffs and lost every single one.
That's when? When?
Huh?
When was your most
Okay,
recent
What
one?
do you mean when? You're not counting all of them.
First season
Oh,
of the
if you're counting ones like 1963, that don't make a difference.
We had 2004, 2013.
Yeah, I mean,
But also
it's largely
technically,
irrelevant.
in the old third division, that league was 2 automatic teams promoted every season. Then one season they changed it to only 1 goes up automatically, and we came.
For a second, that's hilarious.
And then we lost.
That's so funny. That's so unfortunate.
That is unreal, isn't it? Speaking of playoffs, though, Al's.
No, please don't, mate.
Bristol City. What's
Sorry, mate. I thought you said speaking of playoffs.
Teams that aren't in it anymore.
Speaking of mid-table, yeah, Bristol City, yeah, not too bad. Did you watch the game? Anybody? Did anyone watch it?
I didn't watch the game, but I've seen the goals and everything in Bentley.
Yeah, I mean, they charged a tenner for it, obviously, to watch it online, which is fair enough, it's fine. But it was absolutely dreadful from every account in the world, I think.
Yeah.
Lee Johnson, questionable manager sometimes. Love the bloke to bits, and he's done a wonderful job. But you do look at it is hard to not think what's going on sometimes, isn't it? Do you know what I mean? Like, you do try and be leeway, try and be as nice as you can, but you've got to ask questions, I think.
You said you did a little thing for the Bristol Post, and you said how you think City in midfield is what sort of worried you. And you think that's
Correct. Yeah.
They need to improve the midfield is what they need to get into those playoff places.
Yeah, I do still believe that. Surprisingly, that wasn't the problem. The game, it was the defence and the goalkeeper. We absolutely shot it at the back. Thomas Callas was terrible. Balls over the top are just destroying us. It wasn't actually midfield the problem, but I mean, Han Nomasengo's 19. You can't expect him to start in a playoff charge, I don't think, personally. He's quality, but it's asking a lot.
Well, so you got one of the options you wanted to sort of improve the midfield was Marcus Henriksen, and then obviously
he's gone.
It's been announced these loans already. It would have been done. I don't really see the point in why he stayed at City then if that was going to happen.
Rumours, mate. With the rumours, you've seen all the rumours. Apparently he's had a falling out with LJ after the game. I think it's all a lie, but apparently he had a massive falling out, and that's why he left.
I mean, I think he just didn't make much of an impact, and then they thought,
what's the point? We've got Liam Walsh from Coventry. He's won all the Player of the Year awards, so why would we not just take him next year?
So City, what do you think's the solution to City's midfield problem then?
I mean, we probably shouldn't have sold Marlon Pack looking back at it. As slow as he was. And Josh Brownhill. We had to sell Josh Brownhill, but he was the linchpin. And we had to sell him, wasn't a choice. But I don't know, we just need somebody quality. Like, there's nothing to it. We just need somebody who plays well. We've got Corey Smith.
Masengo's quality, isn't he?
He is quality. As I say, he's 19. And he's as skinny as these headphone-wise, as Regan referred to earlier.
Yeah.
And I think it's tough to ask a 19-year-old French kid who barely speaks English to hold down a midfield alongside Corey Smith, who's one of our favourite ever players. I just think it's a tough job to ask of somebody.
I think Smith's finding his time now as well, isn't he? Like, I'm a very good player for City.
Yeah, I mean, you'll never get that admission out of me, I'm afraid.
But I
don't care if he's got one leg. I won't say it.
His legs are going. I don't think you can go rely on Corey Smith to be the person next to Hamlin and Masengo if you want to get promotion. It doesn't.
I think Corey Smith has got it. I think he's good enough to go up. But if you need someone alongside him, Josh Brownhill and Corey Smith was good enough to go up in my opinion.
Oh yeah, Josh Brownhill was a phenomenal footballer, but obviously City just couldn't hold on to him anyway.
No chance.
I was surprised when you sold Marlon Pack as well. I don't. It was weird because you had Marlon Pack, and at the time, City fans really liked him. And then as soon as he went, I know it was because he went to Cardiff. Maybe City fans.
Yeah.
They seem to not be that worried that Pack went.
No, well, yeah. I mean, he was slow as a bus. Like he can't turn. And we had signed Adam Nagy, who was a Serie A starting player, and Hanno Masengo, who was meant to be the next best thing for Monaco. He probably still is. So we didn't need him at the time. But then you look back at it and think, actually, we probably did. But there's a cliche in football, isn't it? Like how many players have been sold that could have done a job?
Thoughts on Nagy?
Give him time. He's had one season.
Yeah.
I think he's a quality footballer.
He gets a lot of abuse I see online.
Does he? Yeah, he does. But for what?
Yeah. I mean, so I've seen some Bristol City fans on Twitter say they've got the best squad in the league, so you've got to take everything with a pinch of salt, and I'm not sure you've said that, but yeah, I blocked them. I've seen multiple Bristol City fans say it online.
Yeah, I'm not sure. We've got the best attackers in the league.
Do you not want to meet the City fans that Bill has on Twitter?
I don't think they're ones with their heads screwed on very much.
I do think we've probably got one of the best attacking lines in the team, if they're all fit. But other than that...
Naki Wells, Benikafoglu from Arjiju.
Yeah.
Still my favourite out of those three from Arjiju.
Obviously. Always will be, mate. I'm a JG enthusiast. But realistically, Naki Wells and Phobia are probably good enough to go up.
So City then, you're saying playoffs ain't happening then?
From what I saw Saturday, no.
Yeah. No chance. See, I do think City are actually one of the sides that would rely on fans as well to help them the way you play.
Yeah, I mean, at home we're always dreadful. But
I think the teams that are going to do the best over this lockdown period are the teams who just bop it around and play nice football.
yeah,
A lot of
well,
sides-
is that at Brentford to you?
Yeah, Brentford of Fulham.
Regan's been quiet, Jonas, but he's made a lot of gestures. What are you adding? Go on.
Yeah,
Go on.
Well, I was just saying that since everyone likes to take the mick out of our atmosphere, I thought we'd be like, oh yeah, because we play as we did before the lockdown. But
Oh, yeah.
nah.
No, we're not
very
going to, mate.
disappointed about admin. But
You said it.
that he didn't tweet anything about the atmosphere. I'm really disappointed.
Nah. Oh, yeah, I was disappointed.
But no, I think the teams that play it around nice football sort of can maintain their standards in the. Whereas a lot of clubs like, I don't know, say a Birmingham City or something, who play Route 1 football, I think sometimes they rely on just like the fans getting behind them, don't they? And I don't know why. It just seems like they do more.
Gives them an extra like 10%, doesn't it?
I think there's definitely exceptions to the rule, though, because I would have said Cardiff were one of those teams, and we just spoke about how they beat.
Yeah, and they played really well.
So I really don't know what to make of football. Honestly, I don't know what I'm going to expect every game at this point.
No.
It's mental.
So
Really.
actually, we'll sum up because we're going to move on to. Actually, no, we'll go on to hot topics now. I think we'll go on to hot topics. We've got one this week, and it is obviously everyone has to watch the football through their television screen. What are your thoughts on the crowd noises?
Oh god.
Like them, hate them? Could they be improved? I mean,
They are disgusting.
yeah, Regan ain't a fan.
Horrible.
Do you know what?
Why?
Do you know what my opinion? I'm not saying I love them, but I think for the games I've watched, I think certain teams have done it better than others. So Watford-Leicester, Watford actually implemented it quite well. I'm not saying.
Was it in the stadium when they did it?
Yeah.
Is it? Wait a second. Is it? No, I'm pretty sure the crowd.
Because there's different. Because some grounds have that in
But
the stadium.
Sky do
Grounds
it.
it's just added on by Sky. That's what I thought.
I thought it was all just done by Sky.
I figured it was both.
They have their own one for their own ground. So when you're watching Aston Villa, you'll have Aston Villa have made their own
Yeah.
ground. That will be.
Yeah.
Because when I was watching Sky the other day, Sky Sports main event had the crowd noises. But if you went onto Sky Sports,
Yeah. There's no crowd noise. Yeah.
That's true. It's a good
What
point.
which
Honestly,
channel
I
do you
thought
watch
it was
on?
better. I thought it was better with the crowd noise. I'm not saying it was great, but
Regan's pieced out.
the crowd noise than just tapping of the foot.
see, Charles,
Because I'm not saying it's like the solution, but I think people are overdoing it by saying it's worse with it. It's not worse with the crowd noise.
I think German football was better with the crowd noise because.
Yeah.
I mean, I wouldn't let my granddad watch the German football with those players shouting with no crowd noise to cover up the noises of what they're shouting and stuff. Because it does sound like a battlefield a little bit out there sometimes when they're screaming. But it's
I
not
feel
for me.
it generally does.
No, it really does. It's not even a joke. Like, it really does. It's quite threatening. And if I was 85 years old and served in the war and I heard that coming from my TV screen, I'd die behind the sofa, to be honest with you. But in the Premier League, I agree with Charles. I don't actually hate it that much. It's not bad, I don't think.
I agree with Charles as well, and I really wish I didn't.
Yeah. Oh, trust me, there's nothing I've ever wanted to do less.
Yeah. But the crowd noise, the concept of it, I thought straight away when I heard, crowd noise and no crowd, I'll watch no crowd noise straight away. And what was the game I watched? I think it was the first one, Aston Villa Sheffield United. I couldn't watch it without the crowd noise. It's weird.
So boring.
It is so boring. I think I'll just add something. There's certain grounds when the camera angle's in a certain way, sometimes just for a second you forget there's no fans there.
Yeah.
You do. When they've got the noise playing, it's like, and they're zoomed in maybe specifically more, but you think, this is a proper game, and just hearing that little roar when there's like a goal, it does help.
It's nice, isn't it? Yeah.
It's still obviously it's the first week of it, but it does need improving.
What's your major objection, Regan?
I think it's because mainly through watching the NBA beforehand, there's some games that I watch where there's absolutely no atmosphere at all, and you can hear word for word everything that's being said on the court. I think that's one of the elements I mainly like about it. That it's the raw like passion and emotion you can hear in the players' voices, and when I get that in football, I'm like, I actually quite like this because I can hear everyone's saying. I can hear the managers sometimes because I like to hear what they say as well. And I can't remember who said it to me. It might have been I can't remember. They said you cannot fake an atmosphere. No matter how bad an atmosphere is, you can't fake it at all.
Yeah.
I think just because I like the raw side of it.
I agree. It's not the same. It's never going to be the same. I'm one person who really wants fans back in football as quick as possible, but I think just for now we have to accept that's what it's going to be like, and I think it's better with the noise.
I'll never watch it. I'll never watch Sky Sports main event.
See,
Yeah.
I haven't
It's
watched
not
it
that
yet.
bad.
I'll tell you
It's
what,
not that bad.
example, you know the Brentford Fulham game? I thought they had it perfect for that game, the crowd noise, because in the Premier
Only
League,
for the 90 minute onwards, though.
in the Premier League ones I've been watching, I think the crowd noise is a bit too excessive. It's quite loud, and if you do put the crowd noise on, you can barely hear the players at all. Whereas in the Brentford Fulham game, you had it so like you sort of didn't notice it at points, then you did. But like when Brentford scored, you could still hear all the players going mental and everything, and all like them off.
It's like a normal game, then, isn't it?
Yeah, so it was like a bit of both. Whereas some the Premier League ones, it feels like it does drown out, and I do like being able to hear the players talk to each other and stuff. But it drowns it out in the Premier League games. But I don't know why it was different. Or maybe they were just trying to replicate Fulham's atmosphere.
I think the Fulham Brentford one was actually generated by Fulham, because I think no matter what channel you're on, they had the auto-generated one on. They're on both channels.
Yeah.
It was weird because
Maybe that was why it was quieter. That's why I didn't drown it out, because it wasn't actually edited on after. It was natural sound from the camera.
Yeah, maybe that is. I mean, I'll be worried for when Brentford West Brom, because I mean you wouldn't be able to hear the commentators be rocking so much. I mean,
What? Because of demolition going on outside.
oh, shut up.
You were just saying Potter.
But yeah, Potter. What was it, Charles? What was he saying?
Oh, well, I don't think we can say what Potter said, but...
No, the whole thing. He said something about Hull. Oh, yeah. If you're all going to Hull, you can just hear in the background, if you're all going to Hull, clap your...
You know what I loved about the crowd-generated noise? Is that the referees still got abuse for their decisions.
Yeah.
Gave me yellow, and the crowd was went, boo.
That's brilliant. Yeah.
They're still getting abuse.
Oh.
Generated abuse from Sky.
And Regan, the thing that you said about, like, obviously how they're doing it in NBA, I feel like the reason why they're doing it in NBA is because I remember watching who did they do the documentary on? Was it Jordan? And he's like having a go at his teammates, like, you sucked on the field there today. And all the Americans look at that and go, oh my God.
Oh, yeah.
Gosh. Look at that compared to what Warnock would be saying.
Yeah.
I think it's Sky not doing
Okay.
crowd noise until someone calls everyone the C word. Do you know what I mean? Like, I feel like that could work in America. I don't think it would quite work.
They haven't done it in America yet, because obviously the NBA still ain't going on. But it was before all of it.
Oh right, I thought they were going on with it. And
No, there's some as games are on, like every 2 days in the NBA. There's like a Thursday game, and there's no one in there, so you can hear everything.
Well, they just still have like a hot dog, like a guy selling hot dogs on the side of the pitch.
T-shirts.
Come get your red hots.
Back scratcher.
Yeah.
Back scratcher.
Yeah. So that's three of us for crowd noise, isn't it?
Well,
Overwhelming.
I mean, you were for it, weren't you, Alice?
yeah, it's all right. I don't care about it. Like, it doesn't offend me. Yeah.
It was a lukewarm topic.
The lukewarm topic.
Lukewarm.
Regan, beep beep. Get back in.
Yay! Let's go to Europe.
Oh, it's been left in the garage for a while. It's got cobwebs on it.
The battery's died.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's just like my
That's a
real
walk.
car.
You just have to go get your alternator.
I know you had a car, Regan.
I've got two.
You've got 2 cars.
God, he's a little.
Crikey.
Yeah, he's a little
You one of them?
middle class white boy, isn't he?
Oh.
Don't use one of them.
What does the other one do then?
Just sits there gathering dust.
He's driving suspect as well.
Is it a collectible?
Nah,
No, it's just
Don't
shit.
like
It's in
it.
the garage. Fair enough.
Don't
don't like it.
That's in that then. Let's move on. What have we got for us?
Right. Obviously
Who's got a G?
there's not many leagues going on at the moment, but the most important ones are. We'll start off with the Bundesliga, because obviously that's only one game away now from finishing already.
Oh, Bayern
They
won,
came-
didn't
yeah, there's only one game left of the season.
Oh,
I'm
yeah,
not
that's
paying
mad.
attention. No.
No.
There's one game left of the season, and well, the league's already decided. We know who came first. Guess, gonna get. You'll never get it. You'll
Nah,
never.
Can you give me 3 options?
All right. You got Paderborn. You've got Fortuna Dusseldorf, and you've got a little unknown team called Bayern München.
I phone a friend.
Yeah, I'll phone a friend. Can I get 50-50? 1.5 answers.
German league. I think I feel sorry for the organisers of the German league a little bit because they were the first to come back and they had this massive charge. It's like, oh, everybody in the world's been watching the German league. It's like, that's brilliant. Everyone in the world watched the German league, and they realised everyone in the world realised it's shit, and no one watched it again.
It
No
is.
one's ever going to watch it again. So that's that for them, unfortunately.
If any sort of league relied on just the atmosphere of the games, it was Germany, wasn't it?
Oh, exactly. What Dortmund about their yellow, whatever it is, yellow teeth.
Oh, the yellow wall, yeah.
Yellow teeth.
Well, Jurgen.
If you play for Dortmund, you're required not to brush your teeth. That's good.
Do you remember back in the day they did all require the same haircut, didn't they? Back in like FIFA 14, they all had the same like the Dortmund haircut, the blonde.
The
sort of
blonde,
ringlets.
like up here.
Yeah,
Oh,
that's
yeah.
Yeah.
I reckon you had that
Voice and
haircut.
guts
You
back in
definitely
the
had
day,
that
yeah.
haircut, actually, didn't you? 100% you did. Looking at you.
Yeah, you definitely.
Yeah,
I
I know
probably
you
did, to be fair, yeah.
Yeah.
I probably did.
You wish you were Royce.
Born on the same day as me, what can I say?
You actually born on the same day as well.
Yeah.
What a coincidence.
But Borussia Dortmund beat Leipzig 2-0 in Werner's last home game for Leipzig.
Oh,
Just
no.
quickly about Werner, how good do you think he's going to do at Chelsea?
Well,
Good. No, I don't know.
House thinks really good, obviously, because he thinks they're going to win the league.
No, not necessarily Werner, to be honest with you. What I've watched of him, he misses loads of chances, doesn't he? Like,
He does,
he's
yeah.
not clinical at all, but he is quick, he's determined, and he will get goals in the Premier League because of that. I actually think it's the rest of their business they may or may not be doing that might win the league, personally. Like Ziyech, for example.
I think he's Werner really suits Chelsea as well.
Exactly, because they pump the ball forward and he runs.
I mean, they're going to have to focus on defence a bit, but I mean, Lampard really doesn't like to. He really likes just to play, run forward, score as many goals as possible, doesn't he? Like Werner, Ziyech, might be signing Ben Rama from us. I think that depends
Is
on whether. If we don't,
That would be a really good sign.
if we don't go up, they'll sign Ben Rama. Is basically what's going to happen.
If you do go up, though.
If we don't,
Don't. Okay, good. Yeah.
they're going to get Ben Rama. Jude Bellingham's been a rumour we've already spoken about. They're going to have a serious team. And that Kai Havertz as well. He's another Bundesliga player there after, isn't he?
If they sign Havertz as well, I think I might be with House. They might win the whole thing. But when you compare their defence to attack, though,
When you got Andreas Christensen at the back, mate, I don't think.
Yeah, it's fair. Actually, any of their defenders are any good.
when you're starting a murderer in the starting 11, you ain't gonna win.
There's quite a few teams in England that are doing that, though. So it's,
Yeah.
terrible.
I've killed Bill.
It's like a trend. Play murderers.
Yeah.
Dortmund won 2-0. Haaland scored a brace,
Sure.
and that's his 13th goal of the season in 14 games for Dortmund.
Yeah, but did his goal scoring die down a bit? I mean, it must have.
No.
Did it not?
What do you mean? I haven't talked about it.
13 and
Wait, this is the
14.
first one back.
What do you mean?
This is the first one we've talked about Dortmund.
Yeah, I know, but I mean, like, he was scoring like.
Did he join Dortmund in January, didn't
Yeah, but
Yeah.
he was scoring like 7 in 20 minutes, wasn't he? Like, he was mental. He was.
he? Yeah, you can't do that every week, though, Bill.
Yeah.
That'd be ridiculous.
He wasn't. He did get injured.
Oh, okay, fair enough.
What I don't like about Haaland though is his interviews.
Have you seen their fake?
It's fake. The full thing. He gives a good interview, and it goes on for too long, and he doesn't want to do it anymore, so he stops.
What, even the ones for like Leipzig, his old club and stuff.
Yeah.
That's about I mean,
They're all fake.
So,
Yeah.
it is Twitter.
It is Twitter, but
nothing unreal.
I just don't think. Why would you go out of your way to fake that?
No, it's not fake. It's just edited, so they don't show you the first hour, like minute and a half of it. They just show you the bit where he's being blunt, and then make it like he's being a baby.
Oh right. Oh, sorry, lad. Haaland. No.
You owe him an apology. You just send him a message on Instagram and just say,
Yeah, but he'll give you a blunt reply though. So.
yeah, he probably will. Yeah.
Yeah, Haaland is now second in the top. He's got the second most goals in the top five leagues.
Gave good interviews.
If you include his ones from Salzburg, he's got 29 in total this season.
It's not bad, is it?
And Lewandowski's first. He scored his 33rd at the weekend.
He's the best striker in the world, isn't he? By quite some distance.
Yeah, yeah.
I always
I'd say
thought
so.
At this time, yeah.
him and
Obviously,
Harry
yeah, exactly, yeah.
are the best strikers in the world.
Yeah, and now obviously Harry Kane's whatever's happened to him.
Yeah. Getting
45.
Getting
Yeah.
on us. Like,
Yeah.
Right. Regan, where else?
77 going on 50.
I mean, we can't.
Right, that was it, because basically it's already over.
Oh,
Well, the French league.
Oh, is it in the Bundesliga, that is? In the Bundesliga.
No.
This is the first weekend the Serie A was back this weekend. Inter beat Sampdoria 2-1. I thought they were like 1 point behind Juve. They're actually 6 behind Juve already.
Like, you look away for 1 second, and then you turn back, and Juve have got a 7-point gap. When you
No, they've only got a 1 point gap.
The Serie A is like a metaphor for me cooking pasta. Like,
yeah.
like 1 minute it's all under control. I go and check the TV, and I come back and it's just overflowing. It's everywhere.
Bubbles everywhere.
Yeah, it's bubbled.
Oh, you put too much pasta in, Bill, to be honest with
Nah, don't worry about that.
you.
A whole pot of pasta. Oh, that'll do nicely.
Did you watch the Super Cup, which came before the Serie A coming back, Regan? The Italian Super Cup between
Napoli and Juve. Yeah,
well,
yeah.
No, not a Super Cup, sorry, the actual FA Cup final equivalent. There was
What, Napoli Juve?
yeah.
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah.
Dreadful, wasn't it? Awful.
Oh, terrible.
Yeah, like every
And
game
yet
I watched-
Ronaldo didn't take a penalty in the penalty shootout.
Oh, I hate how he does that.
He always waits till he's the
Does it for the
5th
sake
one.
of
By the time he got to the
wanting
5th,
be
they already
the
lost.
winning penalty.
Yeah.
He puts himself at 5. By the time they got to 5, they already lost.
He just wants that moment, doesn't he? He's obsessed.
Yeah.
He's obsessed with it. But what can you do?
But yeah, now Lukaku scored again. He's got his 18th for the season.
Shock.
And he's only 3 less than Ronaldo this season. I'd say, do you remember what he got in his first season at United? He scored quite a lot as well, didn't he?
I think it was around about that tally, wasn't it? But it
A
all
good amount.
his first 10 came in like his first 10 games, and he just kind of fizzled off a bit.
I feel like he's doing really well because for some reason him and Eriksen are like they look like they've played together for years
Well, yeah, but it's because Eric's
already.
footballer.
It might be because of Ashley Young as well with his fresh
Oh.
trim
It's fair, yeah, it looks good, doesn't it? Why has he been bold his entire life?
because his
Yeah.
trim's dead.
Yeah,
Do you like it?
the trim is dead.
Do you know? I think it's
I think it's
pretty
because I'm used to him being bald that when I see him with hair, I'm like,
good. Fair enough. And plus his goals look better as well, don't they?
He definitely just.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Yeah, sorry. Footballers just get haircuts because they're bald. They really do.
Well, no, footballers get haircuts like every 3 or 4 days. A lot of them.
Yeah, because they've got nothing else with their life. Oh, well, other than playing.
No.
Nothing else.
Sorry. I was sat in my bedroom on a podcast. They're getting paid millions.
Yeah. Yeah, but did you see Aubameyang used to play all the games on Foot Champs. Like he used to complete.
Yeah, to be fair.
That's
Well,
sad.
who was it? Diego Jota went 30-0 the other week, didn't he?
he goes 30 every week.
Yeah, well, there you go then.
He's
Yeah,
nuts.
What are they doing?
What do you mean? What? Why not
Making
allowed to
money
play
and getting
football?
messy.
No, but I mean, like, surely if you've got money, there's more interesting things you can do.
Why? What are you going to do? You can't be on a jet ski all day, can you? You're going to get bored.
Especially in England.
Yeah, you
If you're playing
whack the
foot-
FIFA out.
if you're playing Foot Champs every weekend.
No, maybe he's just a nerd.
He doesn't have any kids, otherwise he would have killed them playing Foot Champs every weekend.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. There you go,
Really?
the line of fire.
But another game that was interesting was Atalanta. They beat Sassuolo 4-1. And the Serie A have only played 26 game weeks, and now Atalanta have already scored 74 goals.
It's crazy. It's
They're
crazy.
averaging 2.8 a game.
What?
They beat
This whole
teams like
Italian
7-0.
league, good defence in that. What have they even got?
Yeah.
They beat.
Ilicic.
I think they've won 7-0, 7-1 twice.
They've got Ilicic up front, and then Maxi Gomez, something like that, who always gets a good opponent.
Alejandro.
Alejandro Gomez, yeah, he looks like a good player based on FIFA. Never seen him play. Never seen him play. And
He's
neither
only
of
got
you-
like 6
neither
goals
have you.
this season, but
None of you have seen him play, so I mean, you know.
No, but I don't claim to.
Exactly.
I have.
You have. It's good.
Yeah, he's like 34, so he doesn't really
He's not
really
old.
create much. Yeah.
Oh, shit.
I remember having his inform. We're chatting bollocks here.
But yeah, basically, Atalanta have now got 2 players in the top 6 scorers in the league, which is the first for like loads. I can't remember how long it is, but it's a record somehow. Because Ilicic has got 15 already, and Zapata's got
I don't
13.
like Atlanta though.
Why?
Why?
It gets me confused with America. What they
No,
do.
that's true. And you do hate Americans.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Common error, Bill. Yeah, common error.
What are they,
Anyway,
what are they,
you what?
but why are like they naming places the same?
Sorry, mate. What are you on about?
Well, like Manchester and Manchester.
There's 2 Newcastles as well if you want
Oh,
to get a
no,
bit more angry at the world.
In like America, they got like Plymouth and stuff. What are they
Yeah, they have
Yeah,
Bridgewater.
they do, yeah. They're
Yeah, because the
Birmingham as
people
well,
that
innit?
founded America were probably from the places in England.
Oh yeah, think of a new name. Don't just go Plymouth.
Over the
Why?
Plymouth.
I'll
New
go
York-
back in time and tell them then before they.
How do you stand
before
on
they
New
make
York,
it.
Bill? Are you happy with that one?
Huh?
How do you stand on New York? You happy with that one, or is it still copying a bit too much?
Well,
Yeah.
no, they've got new in front of it. They're all right.
So if it was New Plymouth, you'd be alright with that, would you?
Yeah, that'll do.
Oh, right, okay. There you go then. New Plymouth.
Right, finally in La Liga. Do you know the point gap between Real and Barca?
Is it 1?
7.
0.
Oh, very tight.
Real Madrid are winning on goal difference by 2.
Yeah, but Barca are
It's-
going to win, so it's boring.
No, they're not. I don't think they are.
Yeah.
What's that?
Messi. You what?
They're playing at Real Madrid's training ground, aren't they? And all that.
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah.
Messi's got 699 career goals, but they drew 0-0 with Sevilla. So cheers, Messi.
So we didn't get a 700th. Is that what
No,
you're
not
saying?
yet.
Imagine he never gets to 700.
Gets injured next game.
4 seasons
Retires.
doesn't score.
Absolute fraud.
That would be incredible.
And then Real Madrid beat Sociedad 2-1. And with Barca still having to play Atletico and Real Madrid not having to play anyone in the top 5, could be Real Madrid's year.
It's bizarre, isn't it? Because this has got to be one of the worst Real Madrid teams in the last 10 years.
Yeah.
Surely.
And this
I'd say,
Hazard,
yeah, it's probably around them.
Benzema somehow still up top.
Yeah, I mean, Bale, who does not care about anything.
He don't play though, does he?
No.
Plays golf.
Plays golf. Literally plays golf. That's all he does. Fair play. But they've got a few good talents. But obviously,
They've got Hazard. They've got Hazard working now. He's got 3
He's a good-
assists already in 2 games.
he needs to step up for them massively. If
I
he
think
can have gone a run and win them the title in the last however many games it is, that would be incredible for him. Like he would get a big status at Real Madrid.
It is funny when players leave England, isn't it? How little scrutiny they get when they leave. Hazard would have a couple of bad games and they've really started getting ripped to shreds. He's been terrible for Real Madrid. Yet we just don't talk about it that much, do we? I mean, I know it's
It's like Courtois. Courtois has been terrible, and I don't hear nothing from the Spanish people. It's all the English people.
The Spanish people. Any
Spaniards.
particular ones or all of them?
Spaniards.
Spanish people.
The Madridsters.
People over here just won't tell me.
Go ask him about Courtois. No,
You're Spanish.
but the thing is,
Association
that's what we do. The English media, we ruin players. That's why if Sancho joins United, it'd be terrible. We just ruin players, give them 3 games, decide they're too bad, and then bully them for the rest of the
It wouldn't
season.
be the English press that ruined them. It'd be Man United that ruined them.
That's why Depay and
Really?
Di Maria just left.
I think it's English press. I think that
There is a problem with the English press, yeah.
I wouldn't want to play here personally.
Okay.
You guys are going to be fueling to that in a couple of years' time.
No, I
Oh, I can't wait.
No, I wouldn't be doing that because I prefer to big up English players. Not too much, where they're
Not the foreigners though, Bill. Just the English people.
oh yeah, obviously. Goes without saying.
Shocking, absolutely shocking.
Get them
I just think every time a player joins, there's too much pressure on them. They never do well.
Yeah,
Pepe, Nicolas Pepe.
Yeah, look at the abuse we were giving him today.
Exactly.
He watches this.
Yeah, but
We're sorry, Nicholas.
I'm not sorry, Nick. Yeah, honestly, mate.
Yeah, but he's
I love
crap.
you.
He deserves it.
Oh,
Oh,
Bill.
cheers.
Bill.
Give him time, Bill.
Oh, be kind.
Right. Is that
Right, yeah, that's it. Yeah, that's it.
All this podcast crap, we deserve it.
Thank you for the European tour, Regan. Appreciate it, mate.
How did you get social
Petrol's cheaper,
distancing,
mate.
Regan?
It's
Where you what?
How did you get past the sort of social distancing laws in a Jeep?
yeah, stay within 2 meters of the 100,000 Madridistas that were telling them about Courtois.
Yeah.
Right.
Right,
We,
Tom, question of the week, mate. You've got to finish it off.
Oh yeah, question of the week. Again, I forgot this was a feature, so I came up with
So
it.
did we, to be fair.
Yeah, we literally were
Minutes.
about to start it, and Charles was like, "Oh yeah."
Fair play. Good work, Charles.
Okay, so this question this week, I mean, it kind of is, it's a standard question, but who is your most disliked pundit? We chatted about Roy Keane, but it's someone who you think is a bit individual to you, as in like,
Oh, just written down
just gonna
Graham
go for a
Souness.
normie
Yeah.
pundit pick. Go for someone that really your bones rattled.
Do you know what I'm going to go for? I'm going to go for my favourite pundit. The one I
Yeah, go favourite and yeah,
favourite one who I enjoy, but a lot of people don't, and then my hated one.
yeah.
So I think my favourite pundit is Liam Rossini.
Oh, good shout.
Very-
I think he just I mean, there's the obvious ones like Nev and Carragher. I love them, but I mean, like,
Everyone
I
says.
think Liam Rossini is just so underrated, and he actually does know a lot about football. He's one of the. It's because it's the EFL. Most of them just chat utter bollocks on the EFL.
Oh, dreadful, innit? One of the worst. Yeah, don't go into it, but
Well,
awful.
My next underrated, my one that I enjoy, but a lot of people don't. He doesn't articulate himself very well, but I think he does actually know what he's on. It's Clinton Morrison. I actually like Clinton Morrison.
If he couldn't stumble over his words every two, he gets too excited. That's the thing.
He doesn't explain himself. He explains himself terribly, and I'm there cringing a lot of the time. I'm like, oh god, what's he? But at the end of the day, he actually does. I think he does actually know what he's on about. It's just that's why I like him. But a lot of people just go, look at him. What's he on about? But he's better than like Keith Andrews. So like, I mean, and then who's my most hated? God, I think it's got to be Graham Souness. I'm sorry, I'm not a fan.
Yeah.
Not a fan.
Are you thinking as well, House?
Well, it's too cliche because that's why I was annoyed because you said you got to pick someone individual to you. I did write down Graham Souness initially. I just think he's just a horrible person. I don't understand why he's like it.
I think he's Roy Keane, but without any of the edge. It's enjoyable.
He's Roy Keane, but no one likes him in the first place. So it's like people respect Roy Keane. No one respects Graham Souness.
No one respects Graham Souness.
In my opinion, maybe they do.
Especially look at his Barnet back in his playing days. Jesus.
If anybody respects Graham Souness, get him to DM into the podcast, and we'll talk to him next week. But
yeah.
I'm not sure they do.
I'll say my favourite. I don't think many people actually like him, but I think he's quite knowledgeable. I'd say Micah Richards is a pretty good pundit. See, look, cheers, you proved
I
my
don't mind
point.
Richards. He's more positive, I'd say.
Yeah, I'd say so.
I think that's good. I feel like Micah Richards just repeats what the presenter just said to him, but in a different way.
I think he does bring some good knowledge though.
Huh?
And also, I like what was it?
It's good to have a Man City pundit as well. He filled that void.
Rio's good.
No!
Did he just?
Nah, you can't.
When he says Rio, does he mean Rio Ferdinand?
Nah, man, Rio de Janeiro. You never heard of him?
Not place.
Rio Ferdinand.
Oh, Rio! No.
And also Ian Wright. I rate Ian Wright.
Yeah, Ian Wright. I like.
Everyone loves Wright.
I forget about the match of the day ones. Ian Wright and Alan Shearer do a good job.
But
Danny Murphy's good.
I think my
Danny.
worst one.
Murphy, very good actually. Yeah.
I think the worst one, mainly, I would say Sooners, but just to mix it, I'm going to say either Glenn Hoddle, I think he's terrible, and also Mark Lawrenson.
Oh, yeah.
Mark Lawrence. What a bag he was.
Really good shout.
God.
Terrible.
Who else?
And Michael Owen, I just think he's
Soccer
dumb.
Saturday. Oh, Michael Owen, yeah.
When we
So,
were growing up,
Saturday, well, Paul Merson. What do you think about Merson?
no, because House.
I just don't think he knows what he's on about.
It's the family dog you don't want to put down.
Yeah, exactly. I love him because he's such a nice kid, but he's clueless.
I love him, and yeah, he doesn't know much though, does he?
No.
When I watch him, he entertains me, so I'm happy with him.
That's it.
Yeah,
That's
true.
But
true.
what were you saying the other day? Whose name did he get wrong? Like, he's actually getting a joke now.
Eliasson.
Eliasson, that was it.
Eliasson, he goes, Elysion, is it? So, no. Read.
But it was just literally like, pronounce your... Like, it's taking the piss now. He's like, I can understand if you saw, I don't know, Mio...
Jemba, Iji Whoopi. Like, yes,
that's hard to say. But he's just saying the letters the wrong way round now. What's he doing?
It's like you can put up with the old dog like pissing on the carpet, but when it starts shitting everywhere,
that's it, isn't it? It's time to take it out.
Start like considering.
It's time to go, isn't it?
It's time to go. It's time to go. Hashtag Merce out.
Let's put down Merce.
I do love Merce. Oh,
no, we love him.
It was really talking about. Oh no, but we grew up watching Match of Day with Mark Lawrenson and Alan Hansen as our pundits. And
that is terrible, isn't it?
Or Corker.
Yeah, we have upgraded with Shearer and Wright.
Yeah.
10 steps.
Oh, well, that's it now, isn't it?
Is that the end?
We're done. Yeah, got through it.
Fair play.
Got through it.
Yeah, we got through it. That's the first one. That
enjoy.
will be back on. We're gonna have the FTT Rambles episode on Friday, and House is gonna join me and Charles for that one as well.
Hey.
Is that no Regan?
I'll once again be the only person who dislikes the video.
Yeah, he did.
Hey.
I saw a dislike. I thought, who's that? I saw the comment. I was like, you know.
Why did you like it? You horrible, horrible boy.
I didn't even realise there was this thing until last week. Bill was like, "Oh yeah, me and Charles doing an episode." I was like,
Why can't you come on?
"Well, no, it's their thing now. They do all that."
Yeah, fair.
I feel like me and Charles got a wider range of knowledge on the world. You know what I mean?
That's fair enough.
I
You're
don't
saying-
eat food, so that's the thing. I don't really have an
Potatoes-
opinion.
Potatoes are important. Like Regan.
No, yeah, it's a big deal. You don't want people coming in and not eating them, disrespecting them. Do you know what I mean? It's really
Yeah, I
bad.
don't eat food. Ain't for me.
Regan
No,
I know
likes
you wouldn't know, Regan. You wouldn't get it. Food.
foreign economies and politics, but we know about potatoes.
Yes, mate. Global
Did you say what our
affairs.
topic was, Bill? This Wednesday. Did you say what our topic was?
Are we going to do the school subjects this week, Charles?
School subjects would be good. I'm thinking school subjects or crisp flavours, not brands, just the flavours.
I only watch you to see what the categories are you put them in and have a laugh, and then I click off.
I feel like there's definitely more scope for some chat with the school.
Personally, with the school, personally, that's what I think with house we've got to go school subjects. I think
School subjects, I quite like that. Yeah.
What are you suggesting?
Let's just say I can't wait to see his opinion on religious education. So
I love Ari.
The SRW.
We'll finish this one. Cheers for coming on, Al. So we'll see you Wednesday. I think we're going to.
Yeah, I guess we will, mate. Thank you for having me. It's been a pleasure.
Cheers, boys. Remember to like the video and subscribe.
Talking to us or the fans.
Yeah.
Remember to like.
I will like you, Bill. Don't worry, mate.
I liking it.
Like the video, subscribe to the FTT podcast channel as well as
See from Sam.
on iTunes. And see you next week.
Peace.